Alright, guys, welcome to this week's episode of The Pit. Today we are talking about the apocalypse, whether it's real or not, if it's even going to happen in our lifetime, what lifetime it's going to happen in, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Devin.
Kaylee.
Emmett.
Trevor's way the fuck over there.
Making a Jaeger bomb.
Making a Jaeger bomb because he's an alcoholic.
Hey, don't close that shit.
I'll take one.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
So if the world does end, how is the world going to end? Your thoughts. All right, I think since we're all kind of scattered around and doing Jaeger bomb stuff,
Sorry.
Yeah.
my feasible thing is the Canary Islands is off the coast of Africa. And one of the islands is split right down the middle, and basically all it takes is one large enough earthquake for that part of the island to slip into the ocean.
I know what you're talking about. Actually, yeah.
And when that part of the ocean, or when that island slips and falls, it'll hit the ocean and it'll have a tidal wave. And basically, we'll only have 8 hours to. Really, we're drinking my other monster.
No.
It's the good one.
We'll only have 8 hours to evacuate.
Drink your monster.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry.
We'll only have 8 hours to evacuate the whole entire eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
And I think that will set off a chain reaction of events that'll just fuck us in the ass.
Yeah, I actually.
Wait, so
I watched
what's going on with the Canary Islands?
There's Canary Islands. There's one off the coast of
Africa.
Right.
I actually watched a documentary on this. What it
and it's
is,
got a split right down the middle.
on the island, there's a large volcano, and the last time it had a major eruption, it put a massive crack in the side of the mountain. And if another earthquake or an eruption happens, geologist says that whole side is just going to collapse straight into the ocean.
I know what you're talking about.
And it's probably the size of fucking, the amount. It's probably, god damn, I think like a quarter mile.
Well, basically, it'll create a tidal wave so large that we'll have 8 hours to evacuate the whole entire eastern seaboard of the United States.
All the way from the state of Florida all the way to Dallas will be hit by this one wave.
Basically, the whole eastern seaboard will be underwater.
Yeah.
Can you imagine evacuating that many people?
Could never happen in 8 hours.
Not 8 hours.
You couldn't even get 10% of the population of Florida out of Florida.
Nope.
And 24 hours.
No. Even 2 or 3 days, even.
Not to sound racist or anything. They couldn't get all those people out of New Orleans.
Uh-oh.
Not racist.
Well,
This is home country.
Yeah. This is my home state. That's a different story. As Carlos Mencia put it, fuck draining New Orleans. Just keep it flooded, and it'll just be a big-ass swimming pool, and all the black people will learn how to swim in it.
why do you think they were all on the roofs?
It's a diving board with water moccasins in the water.
Gators.
This is delicious.
All right, so I guess, Emmett, how do you think the apocalypse is going to happen? Bigfoot going to come and stomp us all out?
The most logical, it's going to come down to two things. One,
Bigfoot?
either all the
Why is there a
countries,
22 shell on the table?
I don't know,
'Cause I brought it here.
either all the countries are going to finally just nuke each other and we're all going to die out from that, or we're going to get hit by a fucking comet or asteroid or something like that.
A lot of them have been buzzing by lately.
I was thinking economic collapse.
Economic collapse?
I mean, look at it.
Explain yourself, woman.
I don't know. Close enough.
No. No.
No, not this. No.
Why?
Do it.
Do it now!
Get to the chopper. Bah.
I guess I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I mean,
Great, now I gotta pay Arnold Schwarzenegger for this video.
what?
Kind of like this.
It looks really weird from above the table.
He's lighting his cock on fire.
It looks something like that.
Hey, don't be talking about my stick.
That means two things. Goddamn Peter Puffer.
Let's see, what could another one be? Well, I was thinking, like, back when the whole, like, 2012 thing was a thing.
Or Y2K.
I was
when.
thinking, like, it wouldn't necessarily be what everyone thought it would be. Like, oh, polar shift, bullshit, whatever. But I thought if anything was going to happen, it would be more or less of a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that people are going to freak out and
That
be
we
like,
forced
oh, the
it.
world is going to end! And
They
then,
might start jumping off buildings.
right, and basically people create their own chaos. And
Sacrificing goats and shit in the middle of the road.
I'd do it.
I paid $500 for this goat. Foink.
Here's a champion winning goat.
He was on the Letterman show once.
What the fuck?
He did tricks in his gap. In his gap. I don't know.
He was champion peanut butter liquor. Alright. Alright, Trevor.
What?
We can't see you.
I'm sorry. I'm all over the place.
Stop! Just kidding, I don't care.
How's the apocalypse gonna happen? What's your ashy pizza?
I would love zombie apocalypse,
We're gonna get into that later.
but
What's your most feasible, most likely to happen?
definitely economic collapse. The value of the dollar crashes to nothing. The price of gasoline oil per barrel is
It's already
ridiculous
ridiculous.
amount, and we can't afford it, and everybody's going to be stranded, and they're not going to be able to pay to ship food and consumables and shit like that. So essentially, unless you yourself are self-reliant in your own little community, that
We
With
stay
the
away because of gas
Something
prices
to
and
say
stuff.
That when you're done.
okay, well, with the economic collapse, that unless you're self-reliant and able to work with primitive tools until like you're able to afford electricity, shit like that, there's not a whole lot of hope for you.
Okay.
You need to help me with this one. With the whole... Actually, no, wait a minute. It was my mom that was talking about this. Okay. Sorry.
Cut segment of Katie's butt.
No.
Trevor in a wig.
Basically, they're making...
Why would I
it-
need a wig?
Yeah, you have enough hair. What is this?
Geese.
Okay.
They're basically making it illegal to go off the grid.
Huh?
Yeah,
That's dumber than fuck.
exactly.
That's gayer than hell.
Like, I think my mom was telling me about this place in Nevada, I think it was, out in the middle of the fucking desert. There was this small community of people they were completely self-sustained. Like, they were
Like a hippie commune or something.
pretty much, they had their own little mini society out in the middle of the desert. They were doing their own thing. They weren't bothering anyone. Granted, they didn't have to pay for anything because they were doing it all themselves.
Except
That's-
for like lame taxes and shit.
Exactly. That was the problem. The government came in and they were like, oh, you can't do that. You're not paying us. You're not doing this properly or disposing of this properly or whatever. And so they basically kicked them off of their own property.
Eminent domain.
Yeah. Well,
That's one hell of a cherry.
speaking. Do you think Do you think this whole apocalypse thing is like a paranoia thing? Do you think like, as long as humans are around, the world's not gonna crash and burn? And
Shit.
personally, I think humans are causing all this bullshit. But
It could be a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
Humans are the evil that infect the world. The Earth was able to sustain itself before we existed. We just
Basically,
started fucking shit up and industrializing on its natural.
basically,
resources.
nature had its way of picking and choosing what it wanted to live and survive, and we just kind of
We're just a blink of an eye to it. We're all gonna die.
Somewhere in the
Well,
world,
since we're talking about ignorance and all that, what do you think about the people that are so ignorant to the whole world? Oh, the world's gonna be here forever, and I'm gonna have great grandchildren. And
Fucking stupid.
like, why do you think people refuse to believe that the world's coming to an end? Why?
they're scared shitless.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the fear. It's their own perceptions of the world where they don't want to handle truth. Therefore, we have religion, so people have
Ignorance
this false hope that
we're not just gonna be
we're
we're not just gonna be buried into
carbon and water.
that we're not gonna be buried in the dirt. That we're gonna be like eternally in some clouds and shit.
No, we're going to be buried into some dirt, and then all of a sudden the trees are going to overgrow the people, and we're technically going to be part of the trees, but we're just balls of energy, and we're just going to end up being a tree.
Squirrels climbing us and stuff.
Fuck squirrels.
Squirrels with diabetes.
2 branches. Fuck you, squirrels. That's how I run my shit.
Squirrel, get away from me!
The first carnivorous pine tree just. Then it somehow grows the squirrel. And they're like a branch with a spatula. And
What?
branch holding a spatula, like growing the.
Do what?
What?
Did you ever see that movie Evolution?
Yeah, that was stupid as shit.
That movie's great.
Weird.
That tree just ate that.
There's Mr. Garrison put it like this weird fish thing on this world square.
Fish frog.
This retarded fish frog. Fuck this other dumb retarded monkey.
And then that monkey was special, so it got to live, and then that special monkey humped this monkey, and then there you go. Now you're just a monkey fish frog.
Retarded monkey fish frog. We're just a bastard child of some.
I'm not a monkey. I'm a woman. If I'm a monkey, I guess I might as well act like a monkey. Throw shit in people.
Fuck me like a monkey. Okay, so we
alcohol was involved.
Slooper.
No monkeys were harmed during the making of this video. No monkey fish frogs.
I don't need the monkey.
Okay, so I live under the assumption that we should just accept the end. Really, I mean, it's gonna happen whether we like it or not. Just
It depends on how it happens and what exactly is going on. Like
now, when I say accept, I don't. When I say accept, I don't necessarily say sit idly by and take me, Jesus. Jeebus.
help me,
Take
you
the
idiots,
wheel.
aliens.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh, that's real smart, dumbass bitch. You got a baby in the car and you're just letting go of the wheel. That makes a lot of sense.
Let me know how that works
If
out
you
for
hit some black ice, it's not like you're going, Jesus, take the wheel. No, you're going, Jesus, take the wheel.
See, Jesus Take the Wheel should be a metal song for that purpose right there.
Do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it now. Jesus Take the Wheel. We're covering it. Jesus, take the wheel. Take the wheel. No, it's gotta be like a Chad Gray scream. Which we can't really do.
Yeah, Chad Gray's the only one that can be Chad Gray.
I think I think when humans are gone, the world's gonna be a better place. I really do. I think the world can finally
Be at peace.
Or, I mean,
Child.
Where all the retarded fish frogs run free.
oh my god.
weird monkey fish frog.
Which is interesting. When humans are gone, what's gonna take our place?
That's an interesting question.
Hold that thought for another episode.
Well, no, this kind of goes on it.
Robot sharks with lasers.
Bigger jaws.
Big Joes.
I think insects will take over the world again. You know, insects have been here before us. They'll be here long after us.
That and chickens.
I don't know about chickens.
I hate chickens.
Well,
I don't know about chickens.
I don't think insects will be able to take over the world.
No, I don't
They'll be
necessarily
on-
say
I mean, like, what's going to be on top of the food chain over anything?
reptiles.
Lizards.
If I had, okay, well, no, yeah, well, okay. To be scientifically correct, I'd say birds because dinosaurs became birds.
Yeah.
So I think
That's why
birds.
I said chickens, because that was a velociraptor.
Just looks like a really big turkey to me.
It's
Really
been,
big pissed off.
it's been scientifically proven, so, yeah.
Yay, evolution.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of funny. I thought that when I saw Jurassic Park for the first time, I thought that guy was talking a bunch of bullshit out of his ass about, like, oh, dinosaurs kind of turned into birds and shit. But then over the years, you see more shit on
Jurassic Park was ahead of its time.
That's true.
Jurassic Park talked about theories that weren't proven yet, and then were proven later.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Sorry. I was amused.
Fire.
I ashed.
It
was
doesn't
like
take
flap.
much. It doesn't take much to amuse him.
Boops. What the fuck are you doing? Alright.
I'm all grown up and nipples still.
Okay, so I say birds. Kaylee?
Oh, what's going on in the hand of the earth?
I'd like to see what the primates are going to do.
We are primates, but
I'm talking about, like, the chimps.
I need to
gorillas,
talk to Caesar.
how do you... I don't know the technical term for them, but they're called the free love apes.
Goddamn hippies!
No, they're actually called the free love apes. They really are. I'm serious.
Or they just fuck everything.
That's why I said hippies. Free love, brother.
Dropping acid and stuff.
They're
Going to like
dropping acid.
going to Chip Woodstock.
I mean, they're actually more closer to humans than chimps if you don't look at genetics. I mean, genetically wise, chimps are closer to us, but these, I think they're called bonobos. I can't.
We share like 17%
Bonobos?
banana DNA.
Bonobos?
Like,
Bonobos.
Yeah.
Bonobos or
Yeah,
whatever.
however the fuck you say it.
Yeah.
Bonobos.
They're
I can't
actually more
English.
human.
banana boats.
They actually call
Banana
them
boats?
human.
Santana.
Sanata Anna.
Banana.
No.
Yeah,
Like, what traits do they have that are...
Basically everything.
Basically, the only difference between them and
Like with
them and us, besides like hair
they're
and
not
stuff.
as aggressive as chimps or gorillas. They're not as aggressive. They're very, very loving. You can actually look at them and tell their emotions in their faces. They actually cry. They're actually smarter than chimps. There's a facility, I forget where it's at. They have these, what'd you say? How do you pronounce it?
Bonobo.
Bonobos, where they can translate over 400 different words and different type of codings.
Like I heard like they know like Braille and shit like that. Like they taught them how to do Braille.
Sign language.
Yeah, that.
But okay,
They
bonobos.
just lack the frontal lobe for...
Basically, yeah. I mean, the only real difference besides
speech
hair,
intelligence, like, okay.
the only difference between them and like hair really is the thumb thing.
They have thumbs.
No, like opposable thumbs. I mean,
They do have thumbs. They just have hands for feet. That's it.
okay, that's visual. The best World of Warcraft gamer will be a chimp. We need to teach Chimp how to play World of Warcraft.
2 keyboards. 1 player. 3 screens.
1 blanket. All day. You want to go night night? Okay, so bonobos, Trevor.
Oh, to
Take over.
survive shit and take over?
But we'll inherit the earth after us.
I'd have to go currently by
So mass
humans.
extinction.
Yes.
That's what I was
Okay.
gonna say. Like, it depends on how
Drastic,
humanity
yeah.
Speaking of which, the Russians are currently working on reanimating woolly mammoth.
Really?
Yes.
They've been doing that for a couple years.
They found actual, like, preserved, intact baby woolly mammoth frozen in the ice. Like, the DNA is still intact, the hair still intact. Like, the hair, the DNA and the hair are still living.
Like flash frozen mammoth.
Pretty much. Like, you throw them in the microwave and...
But,
Thaw it out. Flip it over.
Back to World of Warcraft.
Take a-
As soon as you started talking about it, I had an interesting thought. Did you ever see that video on YouTube about that kid whose mom shut off his WoW account and he freaks out?
And he shoves the remote up his butt.
Well, the thought that came into my mind was, okay, this kid freaks out that much.
What's the chimp gonna do?
Could you imagine what a chimp addicted to WoW would do?
With the strength of 100 men. The only thing that I have to say about
I feel bad for the person that shuts off his.
Oh, God.
I feel bad for the person that shuts off his account. Get your face ripped off. Have your thumbs bit off.
Your face.
Speaking of which,
my face.
you want me to wear your face as my face?
Then suck it.
His hand would just explode.
Fucking a full-grown chimp can actually rip a full-grown man's arm out of its socket.
Speaking of which, since we're talking about chimps ripping body parts off, you know what? The first body part a chimp goes for when it's attacking a human?
Blowjobs.
Genitalia.
Really?
It really does. It's genitalia.
Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna say it. Yeah.
Why not?
Chimps want your cock wet?
No, I was
Bestiality.
gonna
want the
say women's defense. I said no. Kick nuts. So are they? No, that's misogynistic.
Did they make Krav Maga? Okay. Okay, that's all I have for the apocalypse. Does anybody have anything to add? I'll take that as a no.
Let's see. The fucking polar ice cap's finally fucking melting all the way and flooding us.
Yeah, that's
Is
it.
that legitimate? Like,
Yes.
seriously?
Yeah.
The polar ice caps. That's gonna need a lot of water.
Actually, within the past decade, about, if I remember reading this correctly,
Okay, Al Gore. Sorry.
Mail bear pig.
I read this shit when I was in high school. Within the past, when the article got wrote, within the past decade, 30% of the ice caps had already melted away. From when they started the study and ended it, 30% of them had already melted away.
We just need. Futurama brought this up. We just need like nuclear winter to like balance it out. Global warming, nuclear winter.
Well,
Go to an asteroid.
we don't necessarily need the
ice.
polar ice caps to melt all the way. We just need enough cold water from the glaciers melting to change.
The North Atlantic current.
Right, change the North Atlantic current, and that'll send us into an ice age.
Mm-hmm.
That's why all the hillbillies going, how could global warming start the ice age? It's warming, not freezing. Doesn't make sense. You're stupid.
They don't even science.
They just do religion. That old time religion.
Anyway.
That's witchcraftery and. They stick your too.
That damn ice age took my dream.
There go my age. Took my
Think of
trailer.
all the ice road truckers, they'd be everywhere.
Oh my god.
They'd have their jabs.
All right, well, that's all we.
Almost. I know.
What?
You almost got me
I
too.
was about to spit out my drink.
All right, well, that's all we have for this episode. I'm Devin,
Kaylee.
Trevor.
Emmett.
and we are signing out. See you in the pit.
Bit.